Hello friends, welcome to another exciting episode in our Photoshop design series. In this video I'll be showing you how I created this flyer in Photoshop. Easy and simple steps that we're going through together. So, like you've done in the previous video, hop on your PCs and let's get started. Before we do that, if you've not subscribed to my channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification so you miss any of the videos I will drop in. Without having to waste much of your time, let's get started. So the first thing, you want to go to file, click on new. For this I'll be using inches 4x5 300 RGB transparent background. So the first thing you need to do is click on adjustment layer, click on solid color, and I'm just going to select the color. I'm going to use this, but I might still change this with time. So let me go back and show you the color code I used, so you can just copy and paste. Alright, great, click OK. Okay, so having done that, the next thing you want to do is let me increase this, or leave it like this. So I'll create a new layer and I would go over to my pen to make sure it's set to shape. I'm going to change the color here and I'm going to use this color. Right, and click OK. Just click on your layer, and this is the color code, so you can copy them or copy it. So when you're done, click, and if you're seeing this, just click on your cap locks on your keyboard. So with your pen tool selected, just use it and draw something like this. I'm not expecting you to be perfect, but just follow my example and you can do yours too. So what you're doing basically is you're clicking and you're ending the click here. So when you want to edit it like this point, come over to this tool here, click and hold and select direct selection tool. So you can click on a point and drag it down like this. Right, click and drag. Click first and drag. Very easy peasy. Right, so you can adjust this also, and when you are done, select these two layers and convert them to smart object like this. Okay, so having done this, go over to filter and select blur, Gaussian blur. Alright, so you can then blow up more, and you can use this radius too. So I'm going to leave with this radius, go over to filter, and I'm going to select noise, add noise. So you can use my settings too. Let me zoom close to see the major difference between what was and what is now. You can see how the noise effect makes a whole lot of difference. Alright, so basically I'm just going to use my settings, right? So just use my settings. I'm going to increase the blur just slightly, not too much, and click OK. So I use 24.9. Great. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, I'll go and my resource file and bring in this, this picture first. This is what I'll start with. The first thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to create a hue and saturation, and of course I'm going to clip it. So right click and create clipping mask. So everything you're going to do is going to affect just this picture, right? Like for instance, now you see what I mean. So it's not affecting the entire design itself, right? So yes, you can use my settings for this, saturation all up like this, and voila, we're good to go. I think this is cool. So I'm just going to change the blend mode to screen. Yeah, that's where the magic starts. So blend mode set to screen. I think that's fine, by the way. and we're good. So you might choose to want to reduce the opacity or the fill just so it's not too much. So you can come here and reduce just like this. I'm definitely not going to use 100, so you can choose to use depending on your screen or what you feel is best for you. But for this, I'm going to use around that range. Alright, great. So I'm going to create another one, which is a curves adjustment layer, and I'm just going to make this adjustment to it. This time I'm not clipping it to anything, I'm just adjusting the entire design, so just so it adds extra contrast to it and everything is good. I want to increase this blur. Okay, this looks cool. Click OK when you're done. Reduce the fill also. So opacity and fill is what I reduce for this image. You might want to follow me closely because now it's stay on top of this and create a new layer, right? So we're going to be adding text to it. So I'm just going to type this out and change the font that I used. Okay, so I'm just going to select the font that I used here and boom. So the resources for this video is in the description of this particular video itself, so do well to click on it so you can use these resources and follow along with this video. So I'm just going to move this in place, Ctrl J to duplicate it, bring this downwards like this. Good, press enter. Then I'm just going to change this to radiation, right? So it's restoration, so it's just broken. So I'm going to make this bigger like this, and move this downwards a bit. Select the two of them, use your arrow on your keyboard to move them upwards while holding shift so it's faster. So go to the top of the layers, create a new one. Always make that an habit, especially when you want to bring something new in. So with this, I'm just going to type what I want to type, service, and I'm going to use one of my favorite font lately, Brick. So service, so I'm going to use this. Make sure it's not too close to the Asian. So select everything, Ctrl T, and make it bigger like this, just the way I'm doing. You can also move it upwards by holding shift and the arrow key on your keyboard. So I'm going to make a copy of the restoration, not service, and I'm going to convert it to smart objects. I'm going to bring this down, right? Select these three, and I'm going to group them. So this one is going to be team, right? So for this one, I'm going to go to filter. Before I do that, I'm going to change the blend mode. So I'm going to select this color and click OK. Normal. Yes, so click OK. So having done this, I'm going to change the blend mode to vivid light. Then I'm going to go to blur and caution blur. Alright, so gradually you should see the effects. But to get that effect out just the way it is, I'm just going to make a duplicate copy of the same layer twice so you can see the effects. So you see now. Great. So 1, 2, 3. So for this last one, I'm going to increase it so that the blur and the glow effect is very obvious. Select all of them and group them, and I'm just going to name this Team Light. Oh, perfect. So before and after. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the images of the pastors one after the other, that is. So this first one, you can see that I was not on the top layer, so it brought this image and you have the restoration, that's the theme on top of it. It's not supposed to be so, but then let's work with this since it's not distorting the layout of our design. You can see, so that's why it's advisable to bring, when you want to bring anything inside, you stay from the top layer. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to reduce this a bit like this and we're good. But for this, I'm going to mirror, like Ctrl T and click on flip horizontal. Good. So I'm okay. And again, the pictures you use for your design is as important as the design itself. So make sure when you're using pictures, you're using high quality images, right? Not some low quality pixelated images. So I'm just going to position this here like this, and yes, I think I'm good to go. Okie dokie. So I'm just going to start with this image first. Go to filter. I want to make it pop, and a few adjustments to it. So go to camera raw filter. If you don't have camera raw filter, make sure you've upgraded to the newest version of Photoshop. It can be 2022, 2023, and 2024. Make sure you're using one of those. So for this, just copy my settings, and I'm going to bump this up, texture and also clarity like this. Reduce the saturation and sharpen it this way. I'm going to increase the texture, and there you go. So this is what I want to achieve. So instead of selecting the other one, okay, now I'll just drag, hold Alt and drag to put it on this second image like this. All right, so you can see how effective that was. So there was no need for me to go to a filter and start applying. Just drag the effect and apply it to the next effect. So I'm going to group this, and I'm going to name this pastors. All right, so I'm going to select hue and saturation. Make sure you're on the pastors layer, so anything you create would be on top of it like this. So click OK and make sure you clip it to the pastors layer. So create with a mask. So what you want to do is, first things first, change the blend mode to overlay. Right, I'll go to the blending option by right clicking, of course. Right, so when you're in here, drag this slider all up to this part, and when you get to the desired place, hold down the alt to break it, alt key on your keyboard to break it up like this, and when you are done, click OK. You can see how this effect is currently on the face. Right, so I can choose to reduce the opacity, or let's see, I might want to work with a different blend mode. Yes, so I'm using linear dodge add before and after. So this is the color code I used. So create another one, another adjustment layer, solid color again, and I'm going to use the same color fill I used for the first one. So do well to copy the same color code. So for this, I'm going to change this to screen. Yeah, click on the mask, Ctrl I to invert it, go over to your brush, and I'm going to reduce the flow, and gently I'm just going to go over the edges and paint in some lights. Now this flyer is more like a composition flyer, and it's a flyer itself, so it's good, like, you take note of these things that I'm doing in these flyers. You can use them for your photo manipulation or your photo adjustment and the rest of it. So Ctrl Z when you do a mistake, so I'm just going to be careful here. I'm just going to paint in lights on these areas like this, voila, and also these regions. And then of course, when you're done, go back to blending mode just so it blends well. On the line layer, hold down the alt key to break it up. Good. So this is what I want to achieve, and click OK. You can see now that the effect is not too much. Right, good. Before and after. So this is before and this is after. Alright, okay, now that that has been sorted out, I'll just go create this last one, hue and saturation. Then I'm just going to, not hue and saturation please, sorry about that, color balance. Yes, so I'll balance the colors. So just follow my settings too for this. So for shadows, I always go towards the blue. Most times adding blue to shadows makes it more realistic. So with this highlights, I'm going to this, and I'm also going to throw in some reds inside. Good. So before and after. We're good, yeah? So the next thing I will want to do is add in some the rest of the details, but I'm going to group, no, I'm not going to group this, I'm just going to shift it down like this. Come here and select the details, position this one here. Now I typed all of this so to save us a whole lot of time, so you can do well to do your typings and with your font and everything, get things done. Okay, so you see how this is arranged nicely. This is how I came about this particular flyer. So if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video, which I'll be dropping very soon.